Hello, and welcome to another adaptive game, KAGI, this time, uh, between Kalosianfire and Catmarrow. The final round, the final match for this week's round as well. And yeah, the players have arrived just a little while ago. Let's just take a quick look at the bracket while they are still fighting in. And we see round 2 mostly concluded, with only Catmarrow Kalosianfire still left to be played. Whoever wins here will have to face Qdin, and then others in the semifinals and finals. But for now, Kalosianfire versus Catmarrow. Let's see if there is a game already. Excuse me. Yes. And we are here and just waiting for Catmarrow to start up. And oh, and all right. So anyway, a computer is being started up, so we'll probably have a few more minutes before Catmarrow's here. So this might be a good time to look at Kalosianfire's deck. We have Eternal Guillotine Gucci. Gucci, not Gucci. Very close. But a pretty strong Ember Skies deck. First and foremost, it has Ghoul Keeping plus Echo Fly. So can just rule of 6 with that to generate 6 Ember. But has a lot of more stuff going on. We have a pretty scary Brokner board. DB Gobbers, Rain's Fury Heart, Terrence Surefoot, just pretty good at controlling all of that Ember. And then we have the Khalifi Dragon, actually able to come down sometimes with 4 Ember Pips in Broknar, as well as some 5 Ember Pips, sorry, in Broknar, as well as some creatures that may stick on the board. We have a Logos that's just pretty efficient, with also an effervescent principle, in case your opponent goes too high. Worm Tunnel doesn't have the direct capture enhancement, but is in Geistoid, so can capture something like from a discarded Kernel Slime or something else. Actually, not too much capture in there. But yeah, and then the main house, I would say Geistoid. Just a lot of value. You have double in here somewhere, so you don't need to keep holding onto the combo pieces all the time. And I already played against it once, and it's pretty scary. Yeah. Code Monkey, also in Geistoid, can be pretty spicy. And the Doppelganger has an Ember Pip. Yeah. Oh, Catmarrow has just joined the game, so that's all the stalling we'll have to do for today. And it's on to the match. Let's see what deck Catmarrow has decided to bring. What kind of matchup we'll be having today? Depending on the deck, it could be going to a quick game 3. But we have a Geistoid double Valve Memory deck, so maybe not. Island of Misfit Toys. It's Box Smack of the Bard's Boat. Sass rates it at 99. That seems pretty high, but with some pretty good artifacts, might not be misplaced. So yeah, there's a Boo with 2 discard icons, Junk Restoration, Hallowed Eve to all fill up that discard pile, Island of Misfit Toys, Double Well of Memory to recur a lot of stuff. Now there is no in here somewheres in here, so won't be able to set up huge, well, with Well of Memory of course. But then in Mars, triple Brain Dart and a Scoop Up. So some pretty good ammo control. Body Snatchers, but no real board wipes in Mars. You can of course fight for some value. And then in Untamed, Graphite Cycle to get back some stuff. Double Cauldron, Circle of Life, the Pen Seeds, lots of good stuff. Hunting Witch, always nice. So let's take a look. How much Ember Control is there in the Ember Skies deck? I think there is a single remote access. Yeah, there's a remote access. Is there anything else? No. Alright. So we'll have to do with a single remote access. Now it can be pretty nice against the Cauldron or the Event Seed, so not out of tools, but yeah, some tricky stuff going on here. We start off the game with a Candle unit, and Catmarrow responds with a Cauldron and a Witch of the Eye. Cacophonous Riots on a single, on only the Witch of the Eye to enrage it. And Catmarrow goes into Mars here. And yeah, let's see. Hasn't done too much setup yet. Alright, so we see a Brain Dart. Discarding Circle of Life. There is 1 Ember to be stolen, probably onto the DB Gobber. No, wants to enrage the Candle unit, alright. And then scoops up, puts the Witch of the Eye and the Candle unit into their own archive. And puts a Juve in the Cauldron, not super relevant. Geistoid goes in the Sun for a Ember. Colonel Slime. In here somewhere to discard some cards. The Sloppy Leftwork is kind of unfortunate perhaps, but other than that, not too much, I think. And Code Monkeys to archive to Colonel Slime. Alright. Yeah, unfortunately, some stuff didn't entirely line up, I think, here. And Catmarrow goes into Geistoid now. Puts a Brain Dart in the Cauldron. No, sorry, a Brash Grabber, almost the same thing. Boost to discard Cauldron and Brain Darts, and then discards half of her deck. No Well of Memory or Island of Misfit Toys yet. Let's see if there's any in the hand. It doesn't seem that way. No. Alright. So this could be a good time for remote access. But honestly, there's not super scary stuff under the Cauldron. So yeah, Kalos goes into Geistoid, plays the Echo Fly. Doesn't... Well, okay, you would play the Inner Somewhere first, I guess. So might not have the stuff. Oh, okay, does have a strong feeling. Readies the Echo Fly, uses it to get the Inner Somewhere back. And is just going to build up a massive Geistoid archives. And then the Grim Reminder deck is pretty quick, generates quite an okay amount of Ember, but I don't think it has super much Ember control. So going to check here could be pretty valuable. And does so with the Doppelganger. And yeah, that's a pretty strong turn, I would say. Checks at 6. and now it's up to Catmarrow. Catmarrow, of course, does have the spooky charge, so could potentially key cheat to make up the difference. But yeah, if they can really want to get rid of that Echo Fly here, I suppose. But yeah, if you didn't draw any wells or islands, might not actually be a good moment. You can of course Cauldron, hope that if well is in your hands, you have a 25% chance of hitting it there. But Catmarrow goes into Geistoid. Let's see when the Cauldron is going to be used. The awkward thing is that there is a card with a discard pip under the Cauldron right now. Our Skimmer discards a card, not super relevant. Is there Ember Control in Geistoid? That's a good question. It depends on the bonus icons, I think. Like there has to be a capture somewhere in here. But I think there might only just be a single capture icon. But that could still be on either of those two artifacts. So not... Yeah, there we see a capture icon. That's pretty huge, especially because now the Reaver can move it to Catmarrow's own pool. As well as discard a card. Discards a Glixel Proliferator. Cauldrons to play a Wind of Death. I can choose to play that first, so I was going to archive some stuff from the discard pile, but honestly not too much. Just 4 cards on Catmarrow's side, and then only 3 cards on Kalosianfire's side. And does at least get rid of the Echo Fly. Oh, interestingly, wants to discard with the Breath Grabber first. It's going to discard... oh, not a creature, just a Lost in the Wilds. Fair enough. Breath Grabber will be swept up in the Winds of Death here. Yeah, plays Dew Fairy and then Winds of Death. I don't remember... I don't really know why she doesn't want the creatures on the board. I don't think there's too much punishing that the Ember Skies deck does against creatures. Finds the Island of Misfit Toys, that's pretty huge. And ends the turn there, so pretty insane next turn probably, but for now has to just be content with a check at 6. Kalos goes into Logos, Information Exchange, wow, remote access to use the Island of Misfit Toys and even get some stuff back of their own. Plays out the Code Monkey without too much value, but can potentially reap with it next turn. Yeah, that's remote access, pretty good against Island of Misfit Toys. Gets purged and won't be seen again. That will be it for Kalos. And it's back to Catmarrow. Now surely the last 2 cards in the deck aren't the double Well of Memory, right? So you might be seeing still be seeing a pretty big Geistoid turn here. But we'll have to be a little bit more quick about generating Ember here, I think. Because also relevantly, now the Echo Fly is back in Kalosianfire's hands as well. Wow, oh my god. The last 2 cards in the deck are confirmed the Well of Memory. Yeah, that is, I would say, extremely lucky for Kalos. That is a 1 in 18 times 1 in 31 chance. 1 in 32? 1 in 31, yeah. So that's somewhere around 1 in 600. So yeah, 1 in 600 games, your bottom 2 cards will be double wealth memory. And that might be costing Catmarrow the game here. Because I think it might be a little bit difficult to generate enough Ember against Kalosianfire's upcoming turns. So Catmarrow goes into Untamed, probably only going to see 2 cards played here. Puts the candle unit back into Kalos' hand. Plays the Nepen Seed and a Haunting Witch. Oh, plays the Witch of the... Oh, okay, she has, right. She had an archive because of the Winds of Death. So yeah, it's going to make some Ember now. Warfaline can shuffle her own deck, probably doesn't want to do that. Can also shuffle Kalos' deck. Might be more interested in that. Like, you'll be giving some good cards back. But Kalos might not be super interested in taking Logos' turn here. So it will be something. No, goes for the own deck. Okay, that's interesting. And then Graphite cycles to return Junk Restoration. So he's still going to get through most of that in the next turn. But has put herself in the position again to not draw one of Wealth Memory. And Kalos is going to forge the first key here. I think the keys are going to be flowing pretty quickly from this point onwards. Goes for Geistoid, takes the massive archive into the hand. All hands on deck, okay. It's interesting because we know Kalos has double in here somewhere in hand. Okay, so doesn't want to use it to discard from the deck here. It's just going to play out some creatures. Ghost in the Sun for no value other than the 1 Ember bonus. Doppelgangers. Now is the Ghoul keeping in hand is the big question. Discards Colonel Slime, but captures onto the Thought Catcher. So that means that Ghoul keeping has to be in hand because otherwise you would capture onto the Ecrofly, so you can strong feeling it. And now we're going to see some ghouls being kept. It's going to generate tons of Ember. So much Ember that I mean, it's only 6 technically, but pretty strong in this board state. We will see the Ghoul keeping be returned 6 times, or perhaps 5 times, and then possibly in here somewhere on the last turn, last rotation. Fights the Witch of the Eye, fair enough, alright. And strong feelings to ready and reap with the Thought Catcher. Now in here somewhere to archive the Echo Fly and the Ghoul keeping. I assume, I guess you could go with Logos, Archive, EP, Information Exchange. Maybe Information Exchange Remote Access. And I could see an argument for that. Wow, it's going to do something completely different. Slappy Legwork and Placeholder. But then I think this next one will be taking the Remote Access and the Information Exchange. There we go, yeah. So yeah, it's just going to make enough Ember for the rest of the keys. And it's now going to archive some Ember control and some disruption to play on the last turn. Catmarrow is going to go into Geistoid, but it's probably just a little bit too late. And Junk Restorations. Returns Winds of Death, that's something. Hallowed Eve Festival for some Ember control. Actually hits 4 Geistoid cards, so captures 4. Yeah, I don't think, like, you can Plowsword to get a Geistoid creature back into the deck, and then you can Hallowed Eve Festival again for 1. But there's probably not enough Anyway, with the pen seed, a Well of Memory is going to return to the hand. Just looking at some M control options, of which there are few in Geistoid. Yeah, you can capture one more Ember, but most likely Kalos will be able to Plow Sword next turn with remote access, kill the Warfline anyway. Is going to Plow Sword, DB Gobber, alright. Kills the Warfline. Not entirely sure what that's about. Wants it in the discard pile? Now, I don't think this really matters, because even if she gets to check here and has enough to key Spooky Charge next turn, I don't think she can make enough Ember to Spooky Charge next turn, but I've been known to be wrong before. Known wrongdoer. Is going to purge some not very necessary creatures. Get back 3 cards to the hand. Takes a Well of Memory, Django Restoration and Boo. Plays the Boo to discard Void Prober, capture 1 from the own side. And Apex Abductor, sure. And discard from the own deck. Winds of Death here. Like, yeah, we can see that Catmarrow is doing a pretty strong turn, setting up some strong stuff. But it doesn't matter, unfortunately, I'm afraid. Kalos goes into his blue key, that's not a... goes into Bropnar, is going to discard a DB Gobber, I'm assuming. Well, they have the chance. Yeah. And then is going to play some cards with Ember icons on them. Are we going to see the Cleafy Dragon? We do, nice. Alright. Cleafy Dragon, importantly, is also in Geistoid, and is kind of easy to get down in Geistoid. And is also going to put the Strength Within onto the Cleafy Dragon. So checks at 9, Catmarrow doesn't get to Forge, and it seems pretty over at this point. It did also seem pretty over 2 turns ago. It seemed somewhat over 3 turns ago, but yeah. Let's see if... Yeah, okay, she is going to do 1 final turn. Go into Geistoid, we know there's a Well of Memory in the hand. And 15 cards, because all the creatures have been taken into the hand. Man, Well of Memory, Winds of Death, pretty strong combo. So yeah, you could potentially do some stuff. If you have Hallowed Eve Festival, you could potentially play that twice and capture enough. You could discard the Distant Void Prober multiple times. So I can definitely see how she's going to prevent the key from being forged here. But I cannot really see her go into a winning position. And it's going to take a little bit of time to decide on what she can accomplish. These Well of Memory lines can get pretty convoluted. Soul File for an Ember, that one is easy. some more thinking. A timer has been set, by the way, so that's something. Destroys the well of memory so that the other well of memory can get back the well of memory. Okay, place the Hallowed Eve Festival but without any creatures. So the potential capture 2 is going to be a little bit wasted. So must have another plan to get the check away from Kalos. There you are, back into the game. So yeah, can probably do some stuff. Maybe she can generate enough ember, keep Kalos from checking, from forging I should say, and set up for a spooky charge next turn. Maybe. You can always put, what's the worst creature in here? Probably not. Okay, now there are some stuff. You can put the Thought Catcher on the bottom of the deck with the Plow Sword, kill the Ranged Fury Heart. That will do something, but it's going to be... Well, you kind of need the Winds of Death to get rid of the Cleavy Dragon, otherwise you're just not really going to be forging. Because the Cleavy Dragon can deal 5 damage to itself, and increase the key cost to 13. And yeah, Well of Memory is going to purge some stuff. Return Hallowed Eve Festival with Death, Well of Memory, Junk Restoration, and Spooky Charge. So yeah, setting up for that key cheat next turn. So I guess we're going to see the Winds of Death first, and then afterwards we'll see a creature being played, Hallowed Eve Festival coming out. Is going to Plow Sword to kill the Ranged Fury Heart first. One set in the archives. And puts the DB Gopper on the bottom of the deck, okay. Right, because she doesn't want Kalos to have access to that. It's going to Junk Restoration, finds 3 non-geisted cards, so it's probably going to take the worst cards, Body Snatchers, to get purged with the Well of Memory. Okay, Cauldron is worse. Fine, fair enough. I think it doesn't really matter either way. There's no way you're going to use either card. Okay, and concedes. Alright, yeah, good game. She tried to find a way, but it wasn't really there, it seems. So now we go to the reversal game. And with, if the 2 wells aren't in the bottom 2 cards, I think Kalos might have a decent chance at 2-0ing here. But we'll have to see, of course. I don't know what... Oh, it seems like... Okay. Yeah. Alright, we're going to actually swap the decks this time. I don't think that works, right? Oh, yeah, okay. We are in an adaptive game. Okay, it seems like we actually managed to swap decks this time. That's great. And yeah, we will be seeing Catmarrow starting this game. And let's see what happens. because we did see the ghoul-keeping Echo Fly come down somewhat early last game, I would say. So it might be a high roll, low roll kind of situation. Although I don't think that the guillotine stands no chance in an equal luck game, if we call it that. Even if Sas thinks there's a 15-point difference between these decks, it doesn't super feel like that. Oh, Catmarrow gone for a quick second. Hopefully gets back to us soon. Let's see. All right, there we are. There's some internet difficulties, but it seems like we're back in the game. Both players drawing their opening hands, deciding if they like it or not. If you're Catmarrow and you're seeing Echo Fly Ghoul-keeping, you probably want to keep that hand. Just a little bit of advice from a person in a higher round bracket right now, technically. Won't be for long, but for now. Yeah, my advice is invaluable. So, it seems like Kalos has mulliganed and Catmarrow has kept her opening 7 hands. 7 cards, not hands. She doesn't have 7 hands. I can neither confirm nor deny the amount of hands Catmarrow has, but I assume it's not 7. Kalos, in the meantime, answers the reins with a scoop up and plays the body snatchers for no value. Nothing too explosive happening yet. Neither player finding some discards to go quickly through the deck. And Catmarrow is going to go into Logos. Plays Connectum Transfer without value. A Quantum Mouse. And that's it. A little bit awkward. But so is Kalos' turn. Discards a Lost in the Wild. That is interesting because I feel like the Ember Skies deck, part of what makes it scary is that it can set up some pretty nasty Omni boards, but kind of centered in Bropnar branching in some paths. But no, just wants to go for the pure efficiency. And now it's Catmarrow going into Geistoid, discards Colonel Slime. Placed it in here somewhere to discard some cards. Ooh, the other in here somewhere. That's not always what you want to see. There's of course the Echo Fly Ghoul-keeping that can bring it back at the end of a chain, but not the best results, I would say. Also, the Razor Glasses is kind of nice, and yeah. Thus with Worm Tunnel, draw 2 cards. Goes to 9 cards in the discard pile, almost haunted. Not super duper relevant, only for the inner somewhere and the all hands on deck, I think. Has to discard the Cleavy Dragon, unfortunately, as well as the Strong Feeling. So hasn't accomplished super much, but has gone through a large part of the deck. Already halfway through the deck, while Kalos is going to go into an Untamed turn. No luck with some of the early Geistoid stuff. Play some creatures. Anything else? This would be... Okay, discards the Warfline. Yeah, doesn't want to return the own discard pile to the hand. Doesn't want to give these 5 cards back to Catmarrow, which I understand. Yeah, I understand. Those are 5 pretty good cards. And Catmarrow is going to go into Bropnar. Might see a Berserker Slam to take care of the Witch of the Eye. Rowdy Skull to capture. And a Cacophanous Riot. Now, are we going to enrage the Rowdy Skull, or are we going to enrage the opponents? I could see either happening, but no, just going to take out the problem without any distractions. Witch of the Eye is gone. But yeah, okay, that was a pretty small turn. So other than a pretty good Geistoid turn, I feel like both players having a little bit of awkward draws through the deck. Now we saw Galos go into Geistoid, Junk Restoration, find Plowsword, discards Wind of Death, yeah, makes sense. Almost Haunted on Kalos' side. Harvest Skimmer, Snippy is going to kill Rowdy Skull, I guess. Yeah. Now, fun fact, you can use Rash Grabber here to get the Ember back from the Quantum Mouse. And that is what's going to be done. So nice. Because even though it's enraged, it can only be used for its Omni ability. And so Rage cannot prevent that. And Catmarrow goes into Logos. Is the Quantum Mouse going to fight? We at least see information exchange. And British Sponsored Plate, that's something you don't see every day. Candle Unit, pretty nice. And no, it's just going to opt to keep the Quantum Mouse on the board for purposes. I feel like it will probably die in a Winds of Death sometime, but ooh, and here comes Kalos with a double Cauldron. Kind of nice, but also perhaps kind of slow. I mean, you have to get them out of your hand. Ooh, discards to the pen seat, doesn't want to play that into the remote access. Discards the Spooky Charge. Yeah, okay, probably had to go into... also Reaps with the Dew Fairy, which will give one card to Catmarrow because of the Candle Unit. Yeah, and it just feels like both players now are working towards their combo turns. Now, Catmarrow, with only 10 cards in the deck, does she have the Echo Fly Coolkeeping yet? Will be a pretty important thing to ask. Probably not. Goes into Broknar, gets an Ember, 2 Ember from Incensed, and Berserker Slams Snippy, I guess. Yeah. Berserker Slams the Snippy. And that's it. Goes to check for a first key. And as we saw the first game, the first key takes about the same amount as the second 2 keys in these games. So pretty significant mile point. Goes into Geistoid. Now there are 1, 2, 3, 4... only 6 creatures in the discard pile. So with a Well of Memory, I can see them welling here, especially since you can Plowsword something on the bottom of the deck. Oh, but it's going to discard Catmarrow. And yeah, we see a Echo Fly. Not so the Coolkeeping is in hand, but the Echo Fly is in the discard pile. And with both Inner Summers gone, it will be probably pretty difficult to do something. Oh, and now can do the combo and can Reap with the Harvest Skimmer to force the draw through on Catmarrow's side. Okay, this is just going to fight the Quantum Mouse. And it's going to say, yeah, good luck playing only 1 card. If you do that, I'm probably going to win anyway, so please do. And yeah, only has the candle unit left right now. Of course, because if you do force the draw through, you have a chance of just giving the Echo Fly to Catmarrow, and then you're in a little bit of a bad spot. Oops. Catmarrow does get to forge here. Also with the cauldrons, hits nothing relevant, I would say. Now the question, are 2 wells in the bottom 4 cards of Kalosianfire's deck? That's a good question. What might be nice though is that, have we seen the remote access? No, okay, so we know the remote access is in the hand. But if Catmarrow draws through, it might just force her, if Kalos plays out the island, to go into Logos to deal with that without getting any value from it. Yeah, it's going to do some Geistoid stuff, but has to draw through the deck here. And it's up to Kalos here, who I would say is now in a pretty good position, unless there are 2 wells in 4 cards. Yeah, Geistoid. And I think we'll be seeing a Well of Memory somewhat soon. Also a Island of Misfit Toys. And yeah, so yeah, pretty good position because now as Catmarrow, you are in a kind of a difficult position because to stop the island you have to go into Logos, but to Coolgeep you have to go into Geistoid. It's going to reap with the Harvest Skimmer, gain even additional Ember, and let Catmarrow draw a card. And I think we're going to see the Winds of Death. I mean, we're going to see the Well of Memory, and then Winds of Death. Unless, once again, the bottom 2 cards are the things. We might also see the Cauldrons, yeah, be used here. Okay, we see 1 Well of Memory is in the first Cauldron, but there's not a second Well of Memory under the second Cauldron. Funny enough, this is a Cauldron with double Brain Dart. But there we see the second Well of Memory. Has 4 cards in hand left to work with. My guess is we're going to see the Winds of Death, Boo, how the Festival Junk Restoration be taken back. And then you might not even play off that this turn. You might just Winds of Death here, force Catmarrow to either... Okay, so the awkward thing with the Well of Memory is that Catmarrow can now use this Cauldron, play the Well of Memory, and then use the Island of Misfit Toys. But really, I don't think that gets her very far. Okay, it's going to keep 1 card in the hand, and yeah, we see Winds of Death, Junk Restoration, Hallowed E Festival. Not a Boo, okay. Now, Kalos will have to redraw through the deck here. But it's actually... Oh, it's going to do so with the Dew Fairy because of the... No, there's no thought. Never mind. Never mind that. It's going to Plowsword the Reaver back into the deck. Discard the Reaver. Are you just not going to see a Winds of Death here? That's also possible. Okay, no, we will see the Winds of Death. Fair enough. Yeah, 9 cards in the archives right now. Island of Misfit Toys online. Well of Memory almost online. So I think Catmarrow has to go into Logos and then just use the Cauldron and use the Misfit Toys with the remote access. Let's see if there are any other good cards in the hand that she can recur with the Well of Memory. will at least be drawing all the cards she wants after this turn, up to 6, because you can purge everything, even if there's not enough in the discard pile to grab onto. Effervescent, that's pretty relevant, I would say. Yeah, loses a single ember, but Kalos is going to lose 4. Remote access the cauldron. Might even effervescent again. Is going to purge. Oh, okay, yeah. No, I also missed this. Because the remote access is not actually back in the hand here. Back in the discard pile, I mean. It's still in the nebulous zone where action cards go. And so won't be able to get back the remote access with the Valve memory. Can still purge whatever she wants from the hand, of course. Get back the effervescent and the candle units. And so it will depend a little bit on what Kalos has drawn here. Like if they have a way to get through the deck with the boo or something, Island of Misfit Toys becomes very good. Otherwise, can become a little bit more awkward. Purchase only strength within, alright. And it's up to Kalosianfire, who can now double Brain Darts at the very least. Yeah, interesting position. You have the archives. You could hit something random with the cauldron. But yeah, it goes into Geistoid, takes the archive, and returns Rain's Fury Heart to Catmarrow's hand. Worst case scenario, of course, you can use the Valve memory, use the Island of Misfit Toys, purge everything from your hand you don't want, and just set up a very efficient deck. And can also Cauldron here. Might be the first thing that's happening. No, it's going to Plowsword first. And return the candle unit to the bottom of the deck. Has a Young Restoration in hand and has used it to find the Hallowed E Festival. And that should be a pretty good turn here. It's going to discard the rest of the deck. There are plays a discard Snippy, kills something and Winds of Death. Discard some stuff, gets all back with Island of Misfit Toys. Is going to generate a F-ton of Ember. Okay, so I think there is a Effervescent Principle in Catmarrow's hand. The question is, does she really want to go back into Logos? That's a good question, I would say. A good question. Especially without the candle unit. I think you... Well, okay, the Winds of Death here, like you give Catmarrow another card that she definitely wants to use. You only get a Distant Void Prober out of the deal, but maybe. Maybe. Also an interesting question, when are we going to see the Cauldron? And the answer is maybe not this turn, because there's no cards in the deck left anymore. Also no creature on the opponent's side of the field. Yeah, I think Chaos is playing pretty well here, but I think you might have wanted to use the Cauldron first, just for that Ember control you had access to. Now undoubtedly Catmarrow is going to play some more creatures on a future turn. Well of Memory, we see it finally coming down. I'm going to purge. How many cards? Discard Signs of Death, that's interesting. So doesn't want to purge it, but also doesn't want to play it. Only a single card, wow. That's interesting. Only a single card, okay. So then what are you going to get back? Gets back a spooky charge and setting up a strong untamed turn here. Has enough cards in discard pile to spooky charge, and has the Haunting Witch and some more creatures to generate a lot of Amber next turn. But Catmarrow here can go into Logos and Effervescent, and especially with the looming spooky charge, that might be what has to happen. Yeah, it goes into Logos. And plays Effervescent, loses 1 Ember, makes Chaos lose 5. Worm Tunnels for no value. There was no Ember on Reaver, don't let the chat fool you. Ooh, we can move some stuff around with the Quantum Finger Trap. Ooh. Yeah, exactly. I talked about that maybe Chaos wants to use it for a future turn, but probably that was just kind of a mistake. Place the Range Fury Heart, so it turns on the Brain Darts, and especially after Spooky Charge, we'll actually have cards in the deck once again. But Kalos is just going to go into Geisthoid here. Reap 3 times. And pass the turn. Okay, he's also going to Plowsword. Put the Brilix on the bottom of the deck, kill the Rain's Fury Heart. Okay, Brush Grabber. Okay, so can Cauldron right now, but didn't have any time. Well, I guess you could have killed your own creature, but no, it's fine. And yeah, put it on the other Cauldron. So it's back to Catmarrow. Who goes into Geisthoid. Do we have Echofly Coolkeeping? It might be a little bit necessary at this point. We know there's the Coolkeeping, but do we have the Echofly is the question. That's not an Echofly, that's also not an Echofly. Not an Echofly, and the Echofly has a discard icon. So won't be able to Ghoulkeep Echofly here. And yeah, has to just value Ghoulkeep to kill a little bit of Kalos's boards. And Kalos will be forging a first key here. And I assume now goes into Untamed. Forge it with Spooky Charge, then use the Cauldron to steal 2 from Catmarrow. I don't think there's much to do in Geisthoid anymore. Now with the Wharf line, yes, it doesn't really matter. Well, if you want to play it for the Ember, you kind of have to shuffle Catmarrow's stuff back in the deck. Oh, goes for the Geisthoid again. Wow, that's a little bit surprising, I'd say. You can at least Plowsword a creature back into the deck, kill the Wellstring, and then use the Cauldron to play all of it. So that's something. And then Reap for 2, so not the worst turn, but I was expecting the untamed stuff, but it seems like Chaos is just trying to make key number 2 naturally and then finish it off with a big untamed turn. Probably has enough in hand to just forge from 0 Ember here. And yeah, double Brain Dart, a little bit brutal. Snippy's probably going to kill the Wellstring here. Did have to discard a card here, but it was a Glixel Proliferator. Not super relevant at this point. Will make Catmarrow draw 1 card, so that's something. But now goes to check at 7. So I think the hand is Spooky Charge, 4 untamed creatures including a Witch of the Haunting Witch. Then a Circle of Life, that would be exactly 6 Ember. So probably Catmarrow cannot let Kalos forge here. Or has to increase key costs. But unfortunately the Strength Within has been purged, so I don't think there is anything left to do that. But with a single DB Copper can prevent here, of course. And it's going to go into Brobnar, play Incense for the Ember twice. Do we have the DB Copper? Is the big question. I think one is at the bottom of the deck. Or it might have been... Okay, yeah, we see a DB Copper being discarded and makes Chaos lose to make that 3 Ember. And Cacophonous Riots to enrage the board. And that might start putting Chaos in a little bit of an awkward position. I think here you kind of just have to go for the Spooky Charge and then hope you redraw some okay stuff. Because, yeah, I don't think you can stall this untamed turn much longer. So yeah, place Haunting Witch, then 3 more creatures. Do you play the Circle of Life here? That's a good question. Oh, you can Warfline to shuffle your opponents back into their deck, and then Circle of Life. That's pretty nice. And we do see some pretty good cards being shuffled back in, but it might be on the late side of getting those cards back anyway. Oh, no, does their own deck. Okay. Okay. So yeah, we see some stuff going into the Cauldrons, a Brain Dart notably on this side, and Spooky Charges. Okay, and is the... Okay, maybe the Circle of Life... No, it's not gone, okay. Yeah, okay, I don't know. I think that might have been a pretty good spot to hit your opponent with the Warfline, but maybe the game's going to go a little bit longer than I'm expecting here. It is a pretty scary Untamed board that Catmarrow is going to have to handle. Has a in here somewhere that could be pretty huge. Can get back the EP, can get back the Ghoul Keeping. Perhaps Ghoul Keeping plus Worm Tunnel. Or just EP plus Remote Access. Or just Ghoul Keeping DP Gober. It's all possible. Goes for Ghoul Keeping EP. Yeah, okay. And that's fair enough. Now, do we have much other Geist stuff? Second in here somewhere would be pretty huge. Because then you can also archive Remote Access and Connect them transfer. He's going to use the kill the Witch of the Eye. Yeah, that's necessary to not lose next turn. Discard Colonel Slime, kill the Hunting Witch perhaps. But then you let the things reap, so maybe just reap. It's a little bit difficult for Kalos to become... Well, okay, but you want to turn off the Rain Dart now. I think you have to get rid of the Thought Catcher here. Maybe kill the Harvest Skimmer. Maybe kill the Hunting Witch. Okay, he's going to take out the Hunting Witch. Yeah, discards the Cleafy Dragon, and that will be the turn. And it's back to Kalos here. So you can, in Untamed, still reap for free at least. Make an Ember with the Brain Dart. And discard something from the hand. I don't hate that. Unless you have some... it depends on the redraw, of course. If you have Junk Restoration, Hello to Festival, you probably go into Geistoid, but otherwise, yeah, I think Untamed might be the call here. But yeah, pretty tense final turns. And we are getting a little bit low on the time here. 2/3 of the time have gone. I don't think these last turns will be too much longer, but with the EPs we could see the game stalling for a little bit. Kalosianfire at least goes into Untamed and reaps for 3. What do you want to send back? Well, maybe. Like, you do the Inner Somewhere. Maybe it's just a little bit too much efficiency and M control. Do you want your own discard pile back? That's, yeah, I can see that. Oh no, Barfline is fight, not reap. Yeah, okay, never mind. Yeah, it's going to use the Cauldron, very smart, because otherwise it could be used next turn, never mind. Didn't archive the remote access. It's going to find a Snippy with that. Yeah, just shy of the check here, which will give Catmarrow 1 turn of Breeding Room. Unless there is now a Circle of Life, which would be a pretty ballsy Circle of Life, but it's possible. Yeah, it's going to Circle of Life, gain 1, give Catmarrow 2. But yeah, the check is pretty relevant. And I think probably the correct choice. Now it could be punished by a single, some single Ember control. Catmarrow goes into Brobnar. DB Gobbers don't work unless Kalos has 1 more Ember, so probably not going to be able to use those, but has a Rowdy Scald with a capture icon. And a Terrence Surefoot with a natural capture. But are we going to generate any Ember? No. Okay, so that is a little bit of a problem, I would say. Especially with these Lost in the Wilds. Kalos is going to go into Mars here. Yeah, Lost in the Wilds probably not something you're excited about, but discards for this the Void Prober for the action. That's fine. And then maybe, yeah. The problem is you're also kind of hurting your own board with Lost in the Wilds. So brain darts to enrage and capture onto Terrans. Finds a hallowed EFOS fall below this cauldron. Do you activate this cauldron is the question. Fights 2 DB Gobber. If you're going to do it, now is the time. Scoop up, okay, so no, okay. So then you won't be activating the cauldron, yeah. Ooh, and terrible teammates to just discard something from the hand or not. It's your choice. And doesn't. And on the other, okay, so it's going to activate the other cauldron. Finds a boo, clicks proliferator, and now is out of EP range. Yeah, discards 12 memory, nice. And it's exactly going to draw the last 6 cards in the deck here. Never mind, Boo, that's how Boo works. Boo is going to discard those cards. Now, logos. Do you have Ember control? There is a capture on the remote access, which is in the discard. There's 2 on the connectome, but it's also in the discard. There is the information exchange, so that can steal 1. And then that might not be enough, right? Excuse me. Unless you can, are there discard icons in logos? There's the sloppy lab work, so you can sloppy lab work, discard DB Gobber. No, they're both in the discard pile, never mind. Okay, and yeah, that's going to be game for Kalos, with a 2-0 is going to win here. Well played from both players. Might have been a little bit of RNG in that first game, but very close second game. We saw some early combo turns, some early awkward turns leading up to the combo. Catmarrow never found the Echo Fly cool keeping this game. Yeah, very tricky matchup. Grandmother's always difficult. But yeah, thank you all for watching.